All right, my name is Mike. I'm your host. I'm the lead consultant for Tautoa. If you want to check out Tautoa, TALTOA.com. We have a bunch of programs there available to you. We train, consult freight brokers from all walks of life, big to small, experienced to no experienced. We have packages that include guaranteed placement into our mentorship program once you have completed the training. That allows you to begin your broker operation as an agent through us under our licensed brokerage so that you can get out there and start working right away, gaining the experience, building that customer base. Anyway, check us out, Tautoa.com, TALTOA.com. If you have any questions about any of the packages we offer, call me, 479-668-0838. Q&A day. Joseph writes in, I started in trucking about 6 years ago, had a total of 9 trucks. Had a total of 9 trucks in my fleet, but with the spot rates dropping to a minimum, I started losing money. Now I only have 3 trucks, had to sell the rest. My question, any suggestions as to what kind of loads I should be hauling? I sure would appreciate it. Joseph. Man, I get it, but you've told me a little bit, but you didn't tell me the whole story. But just from what you've told me, it's pretty clear to me that you didn't have your own customers. I could be wrong, but the way you worded things here, it sounded like you were working with brokers for 100% of the time. You may have even been using a dispatch service. Either way, yeah, if you're trying to use a broker for all of your loads, yeah, this can happen. It's very easy for this to happen. You asked what kind of loads you should be hauling. Well, it's not the kind of loads, it's the customer base. You've got to obtain a customer base. Now, you had 9 trucks, probably 5, 6 customers. If you would have had 5 or 6 customers, it don't take a lot, just a few customers with good freight. Instead of going backwards, you would have probably added more trucks to your fleet. Now, keep in mind, what we talked about a little bit ago, U.S. Express. Second quarter, $46,000 profit. That's not a lot when you're a big trucking company. So when you're a smaller trucking company, you've really got to watch your P's and Q's. You got to count every penny. You've got to know exactly what your cost per mile is on each and every truck. One thing about being a small operator, the driver turnover. Drivers come in, they drive for you for 6 months, they go someplace else, then they come back a year later, whatever. That's to be expected. But every truck continues to cost you money. I had a guy tell me a long time ago, and it never made sense till I had my own small fleet. Guy told me, to make a profit in trucking, you've got to have 40 trucks. You need 40 trucks to be able to be profitable. And that just never, ever made sense to me. Never. At least until I got my own trucks. Then it started clicking. Here's why. 50% of your fleet, 50% of your fleet will not be making you money 100% of the time. See what I mean? So, if you had 9 trucks, that means 4.5 of your trucks was paying for everything. Because the other 4.5 trucks, they were not making you money 100% of the time. Now, what do I mean by not making you money? You're sitting. No driver, no load. See what I'm getting at? Half of your fleet's going to be sitting, not making you money 100% of the time. Once that got in my head, it started making sense. Okay, I see what the guy meant now. You've got to have X amount of trucks to pay for everything. And what they were trying to tell me, you got to have 40 trucks because 20 of your trucks will make 100% of your income. That's going to pay for all 40. And that's where your profit will be derived. A lot of people don't think that. Now, If you're thinking about buying your own truck, yeah, that's a whole different story. I'm talking about being, having your own trucking company, where you got a fleet of trucks. The other thing, too, you've got to have your own customer base. That's where the money is. And we talk about this in training at Tautoa, about how a lot of people get into the industry, trucking, as a driver. They work up to, they decide they want to be an owner-operator, and they start out with a lease purchase, and I'm all for that. A lot of people think that's a, bad deal. Me, I think it's a great learning and earning opportunity for somebody new wanting to become an owner-operator, buy their own truck. And if you're going into a lease purchase, don't go in expecting to own that truck at the end of the lease purchase term. Go into it as getting an education. That's not going to hit your credit report anywhere. If you get in it 6 months later, you want to walk away from that truck, you can, and there really are no consequences. So you're not going to get a mark against your credit or anything else. But what happens is with a lease purchase with a trucking company, the driver gets ticked off, they quit, and it dawns on them. We've talked about this before, obviously, that, hey, they can't take the truck with them, so they go out and buy their own truck. This time, they get to keep their truck. Now that they got their own truck, they're out there watching the load board, seeing what kind of money brokers are paying. Spot rates. So you said that in here, Joseph. You talked about your spot rates. Spot rate is what a broker's paying a truck to move a load from point A to point B. If you're looking at spot rates, that means you're not paying attention to contract rates, which tells me you are working with brokers all the time. But anyway, you kind of get the idea. So the lease purchase driver, now he's an owner-operator. He's watching these rates on the load boards and things like that. Going down the road, plenty of time to think. He starts doing the math in his head. Hey, I can buy me a trailer pretty cheap. Get insurance, get my own authority. Hey, I can be my own trucking company. I can use a broker as a dispatcher, and I can make all the money in the world. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea, but in reality, you need to have your own customer. And to be honest with you, if you had one truck, a couple, 2 or 3 customers, that's enough to buy, keep you busy, a lot. What you're looking for are those head hauls. You want your customer base to be around your home base area, within a couple 100 miles, say. However far you are willing to deadhead. That's where you want your customer base, because you're going to be able to get the better rate when you're dealing with the customer direct. All right, so your customer has a load going from, Oklahoma City to Augusta, Georgia, whatever. All right, there you're making 100% of the rate. There's no broker. No broker involved whatsoever. You're getting 100%. And when you get to Augusta, you get empty. You want to get back to Oklahoma City, your base of operation, as quick as you can. That's when the broker comes into play. See what I mean? That's what a broker's for, is to help you reposition your equipment to a destination or / location you need that truck to be able to make you more money, or the most money. So it's not what kind of loads you should be hauling. It's acquiring your own customer base. All right. Joseph, I hope that helps. If you got any questions about that, feel free to call me. Check out our website, tautoa.com. But call me if you have any questions, 479-668-0838.